Hey everybody. There appears to be an innate human desire to discover one's own personal identity. The grandiose notion of the search for self-discovery. Of course, we all want to be loved, and to be loved for who we truly are, who we really truly are deep within our hearts and within our souls. We want that love and affection to be genuine, and to guarantee the love we receive is real, and not based in a lie or upon a fabrication. We want to be loved for who we are. There can often be a fear that we shall lose the love of another should that love be based on a misconceived notion of who we are. And so we often strive for identity, if we're seeking true love and not the lie of love that often many are content with. Of course, there are countless reasons why human beings strive for an identity, but what puzzles me is why we need to justify why we are who we are, instead of just being happy for having allegedly discovered ourselves. For example, I'm a vegetarian, but why I am a vegetarian to a food vendor, that does not matter. What matters is just the fact that I am one. It matters not why I am who I am, just that I am. Sometimes we can overcomplicate the search for the answer to the question, who am I? We can even become irretrievably lost and further away from achieving self-discovery than we were when we started. If you are blessed, you will know someone who sees your very own heart, and by taking you by the hand, they can lead you out of your confusion and of your lostness, and they can lead you to your answers, and indeed they can lead you to your identity. But it is important that the right person is trusted, and that this person understands who you really are, and understands your heart and the contents thereof, because it is a treacherous and perilous road to self-discovery, where your very soul can be made or broken in the hands of another. But on occasion, a third party can indeed know our hearts better than we know them ourselves. Sometimes when we discover who we are, it is terrifying, and we try to run from that because that identity can often conflict with our own views, our own prejudices, or those of our friends and family, or indeed the values of society. However, to fit in just for the sake of convenience or comfort would be condemning your very own soul. Your heart would be enchained in misery forever as you fight who you are. When the heart is suffocated by fear and self-loathing, or constrained by the faulty thinking of others, then one's very life is at risk of tragedy. The only thing we have as our instruments for life is who we are. And should we ever compromise who we are for others, then life not only becomes unhappy and a burdening grievance, but it also becomes unworkable, like a carpenter without his tools. We are the carpenters, and life is our wood to be worked. And who we are, they are the tools of our trade. Beautiful creations are born when we remain true to ourselves. Though the terrain is rocky and the future uncertain, it is important to remain true to who you are. When we place our hearts and our identities in the hands of others, or we allow our lives to be the consequences of others, then surely we are the blind being led by blind human fools. The truth of who you are will uncover your sight, and yes, indeed, it will set you free. True, unconditional love will always allow and make room to accommodate who you are. If others stifle your identity, and if they try to change you, then indeed, they do not give you room to breathe. They suffocate you, and that is not true unconditional love that they are offering you. What they offer is a fallible and a perishing love that will surely die, and often on a dime when they discover you aren't who they thought you were, or you're not who they want you to be. You are not their clay to be molded. You are not their creation. You are God's, and you are your own. But true love, true unconditional accepting love, walks in with arms outstretched when all others walk out. Do not hide nor run from who you are, because you can only ever be loved truly when you are yourself, with room to breathe. Any other love would be false. At all other times, the love that you feel could never be real if you're not being yourself. You will never be loved for who you are if you run away from who you are, and if you resist who you are, love can never be yours. I want to live in a world of true love, not the lie of love. Should no person find true unconditional love from humans, then the love of God is better than all. If your heart is good and true, then God made you exactly the way you are, no matter who that is. And not only does He love you for the creation that He made you to be, but His love never fails. He knows your heart even when you do not. He has no expectations except one, and that is love. And I share that value. Love truly does save. Love redeems. Love comforts. Love blesses. Evil and negativity and badness cannot breed love. Goodness breeds love. I want you to be who you are and nothing less, because that's how I love you, and that's how I will love you for who you are. When all others cast you aside for being someone you're not, I will embrace you for exactly who you are. You can't escape your identity, but coming to terms with your identity can be the most challenging and painful experience in the whole world. It might be the hardest thing you'll ever have to do, but it's a working pain. For when these birthing pangs are over, the most beautiful and comfortable peace will fill not only your heart, but the hearts of all you encounter. And until you accept who you are, all hearts shall be shattered in turmoil. Even if they are under the guise of love, if you don't accept who you are for who you are and love yourself for it, then that's exactly what it is. It's a guise of love, and it's not real. But do not be afraid. This too shall pass. And you will stand tall and proud for being exactly who you are. And the reward for being true to yourself, the reward for being who you are, the reward for all this pain, true love, the greatest of all God's gifts to man, true love. But it matters not why you are who you are, just that you are. And who you are is beautiful. Thanks for listening, everybody. Goodbye, God bless.